Hey, what's up? It's Tony from Street Church, and welcome to another episode of the Inside Job Podcast. Hey, the title of this week's episode is F is for Focus. I hope you didn't think I was going to say something else now. So I'm a karate guy. I love Bruce Lee. He had this one quote. It's a killer quote. He said, "The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus." Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. And listen, life punches us all in the face. If we're honest with ourselves, it slaps us silly. It knocks us down sometimes, right? And what I love about that quote is this. He did not say that the successful warrior is the man who has a lot of money, the man that came from a good family, the man that is well educated. He said, you don't have to be all that in a bag of chips. It's the average man. But what you need is laser-like focus. And for me, that's hopeful because I'm pretty average. But I know that if I want to get to the other side of an issue, of a problem, of something that I didn't, or something on my plate that does not taste good, that I have to hold my nose sometimes and swallow, that I never ordered, I better have laser-like focus. And there's a story. So our ministry is very, very lucky and privileged. We get the opportunity to go and to visit many different places. We go to the Father Center in Trenton. It's a nonprofit who works with men who are living in crisis, helping them to become better men and better fathers, right? And to resurrect their lives. We work with the soup kitchen. We go into the max units of Mercer County Jail, and we do men's groups, and we get to go into nursing homes. One of my favorite things to do. There's a guy named Charlie in one of the nursing homes that we visit. Charlie, I mean, listen, if you think that you have things on your plate that you need to hold your nose and swallow, listen to Charlie is blind in both eyes. He is a double amputee above the knee, and he recently, just a few months ago, has contracted stomach cancer. And for as much as anybody can, every time I go into the lobby and I see Charlie, he's the most hopeful, positive, grateful dude that you'll ever meet. Somehow he's able to keep his focus on the things in his life that he does have, opposed to things he does not have. He's able to keep his focus on his gifts, opposed to the things that, are on his plate that he would never order for his worst enemy. And that must be so difficult. So I get so encouraged every time I see him. And it helps me to remember the effectiveness of focus. Jesus told the story, it's in Mark chapter 4, it's when he's in a boat, he's with the disciples, and he's out on the Sea of Galilee, and all of a sudden this violent storm came up, and water started swamping over the boat. And the wind was roaring, and the waves were roaring. And Jesus was asleep in the back of the boat. And the disciples had to go wake him up. So 4 of the 12, Peter, Andrew, James, and John, seasoned fishermen. They grew up fishing. James and John came from a family of fishermen. Their father owned his own fishing company, right? Seasoned fishermen. So they're used to rainstorms and windstorms and thunderstorms, but this one must have been so bad that they were freaking out. They were panicking. They woke Jesus up and said, "Don't you care that we're about to drown?" And Jesus got up, and he stood up, and he flexed, and he told the wind to shut up. That's basically what he said. Be still, shut up. And all of a sudden, everything was still. What my favorite part of that entire passage is the first verse. The first verse, when Jesus said to the boys, "Let us get in the boat and go over to the other side of the lake." What's so important in that is what he did not say. He did not say, "Let us go into the boat, there's going to be..." He never said, I'll put it this way. He never said that there was not going to be issues along the way. He never said, he never said that there was not going to be a thunderstorm. He never said that there was not going to be heavy winds. But he did promise what? To get them to the other side of the lake. That was his promise. And the problem is this. When problems arise in our lives, when we focus on the problems, we forget the promises. Boom, bang. When our focus is not on the promises, we tend to focus more on the problems. And that's why it's so important to develop this laser-like focus on the things we have, opposed to the things that we do not have, on the promises of God, opposed to the problems and circumstances of our lives. Easier said than done, but anything worthwhile is uphill, right? It's always easier said than done. But take an encouragement from my friend Charlie. If he can do it, you can do it, and I can do it. Amen? Amen. One for the road. All right? The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. And remember, count each day a new life. Hey, have a great rest of the day. See you guys next week.